So let's understand what Ditto does. So can be multiple use cases depending on team to team. So it is used as a mocking API endpoint, create custom endpoints without writing server code. When it is useful, really when the backend is not yet ready, but someone in the UI or the front end team need in the UI to display, okay, this type of customer data or this type of JSON format or XML format we can expect. Okay, let's finalize on this architecture or on the data type, and then we can go ahead. Or you need to simulate like, okay, if I click that button, then 200 response, 201 response, 401 unauthorized status code, and how much delay it should. So all this can be manipulated using Ditto. It can be used as inspecting incoming request like a webhook, or you can even forward Ditto to the main server also if the path doesn't match or if the payload doesn't match. Also, you can manipulate like what type of header query parameters you can expect. And also it is very much useful for team collaboration. How? So there are multiple teams working. Suppose you have two teams, one is like fulfillment and another is shipment. And in order to bridge the gap, you can tell the fulfillment, okay, I will submit or I will give you such type of payload, and the shipment team can ask like, okay, let me mock this API, and they can just integrate in their system while developing it, and once it is ready they can just replace it with the actual URL, and everything, payload, query parameters, header, authorization, everything remains same. So this can be useful for front-end developers, QA engineers or testers, back-end developers, and even DevOps and SRE. Now let's see a sample how we can create a mock server or a mock API. This is how you create a mock API. So here we have like get, put, post, delete. So all type of actions are supported here. Then we have the path parameter. So if you see any website or particularly any API calls that we make internally to either the server or any GraphQL API, so any path can be given here. Suppose let me take an example of say path slash country, and since it is an API, so general convention is to name it as an API country. Response I am expecting as maybe 201 created. Priority also we can set, so higher the priority. Suppose if everything matches for 2 mock, then the priority will be considered before the server responds it. Okay, so we can have matches like request header, request body, then response header also we can manipulate. And then suppose say I can give a list of say country 1, India, country 2, say USA. Okay, and it is very easy to start the server. I can just use Docker instance to start it, and it is highly scalable also. So now the mock has been successfully created. So where the mock has been created, we can see also. So we can create multiple collections. It's like a folder. We can organize it for different teams and all. So here, if we click and create a another mock called country mock, or you can give your team name also. So it will be created and it will be loaded here. So if you see earlier we have created under my collection. So since I have not named it, so it came as untitled mock. Earlier it was already created. This is the API country that I have created. If you name it, then under name it will come like mock test 2, mock test 2. So these are all named. So you can specify the name also. You can not specify the name also. So now let's see how this works. Okay. So we have now country API, and we can use like localhost 3000 since that server is running on 3000, country API. And if I ask like this one as get method, so if I ask like give me the data, So if you see here, it is 201 created, since we have mentioned here 201 and we have all the data. Correct. So how this is useful, as we have already explained, and in future we need to expand it further with much more granular level details, and it will have some type of authentication also if you try to use it for multiple papers. Even it is scalable, as we can segregate the DB, which is a Postgres SQL out, and also we can put it under a Nginx server, so that we can have multiple servers and all attached to the Nginx, so it will automatically get load balanced. Thank you. That's all. I am reachable at gaurav.paul@baraklabs.com.